Howdy angels! So recently I went on social media to put out the call to you guys to ask me anything, whatever your burning questions have been for me. I'm here to answer them today. So let's get right into it and let's see what you want to know from me. First of all, the most common question was probably, will you go out with me, will you marry me, or can I have your number? And the answer to all of these is, call me pretty and buy me things. And we'll see how it goes. Not Just a Boy on Instagram asks, do you believe in a higher power / spiritual being? Are you afraid of dying? And what do you look for in a potted plant? Well, let me tell you, I am a Christian, so I do believe in a higher being. I do believe in Jesus. I am still afraid of dying. I have faith, but I'm afraid of being in pain, and there's always this big question of we don't really know what heaven or the beyond looks like. And so, yeah, I guess I'm afraid of it to some extent, and I have no qualms in admitting that. And finally, what do I look for in a potted plant? Actually, a really good question, because my therapist told me I can't date anyone until I keep a plant alive for 6 months. So I look for one that can survive maltreatment and hopefully has some longevity in it without being watered. Shot by Stephen James on Instagram asks, do you find it flattering, frustrating, or possibly both that people assume they know your life because of what you share on Instagram and YouTube? What's something that you would love for your followers to know about you that makes you just like us? Well, I think that it's flattering that people are interested enough in my life to actually think they know something about it, and I do share certain things that obviously give people an impression of me, so I'm kind of lucky because, like everyone on social media, I'm kind of just trying to make myself look good and tell people what I think of the world. I have the advantage that you guys can't see my day-to-day life, so you can't probably see when I'm not practicing what I preach. As far as something about me that makes me like everybody else, I think that people would probably be really surprised to know how often I get rejected and how often I get stood up. Like, it's a little bit insane. My friends know that I make plans to go out on dates all the time, and then the guy just doesn't show, like, on a regular basis. We're talking about, like, multiple times, 4 or 5 in a given month of me, like, making plans for a date, and then that guy just not texting me on the day of or not showing up. And it sucks, and I hate it, and it makes you feel like total trash. So, I mean, I hope you guys don't relate to that, and I hope that everybody is, like, you know, showing up for you, but I think that that's actually kind of a common situation. At Cray29150 on Twitter asks, what quality are you looking for most in a man? Do you see yourself married with children one day? Well, I would say if I have to pick just one quality in a guy, I think that empathy is the absolute most important. I think it's the most important for human beings as general, because if we're truly empathetic with people, if we truly strive to understand how they're feeling, we're going to be better communicators, we're going to be more understanding, and we're going to care more about how our actions affect others. So empathy is super important. And as far as being married with children one day, I absolutely believe that I will be married with children one day. I'm very much the relationship type. I very much care about other people, and I would absolutely love to bring life into this world or to adopt and be able to pass on kind of my point of view and to nurture another human being. I think that sounds amazing. So yes, husband, come to me. Kyler Sign on Twitter asks, what has been your best sexual experience and what has been your worst? You've heard about some pretty bad ones on here before. I think my best sexual experience was probably with one of my ex-boyfriends, and it was this whole combination. It was kind of like the best day ever, where we started out by me like planning this really romantic thing, and I woke him up and I made breakfast, and we went to this beautiful park with a lake, and we ate breakfast and drank champagne at sunrise, watching the sun like rise over the lake, and just hung out all day and like went home and had afternoon delight, and it was some wild and crazy and awesome sex, and it was so good. And so I think it's like an emotional attachment thing that makes sex really, really awesome. And so that was probably the best sex ever. Worst sex ever, probably that time I got shit on. You can go back to that video if you like. Nathan Ryder on Facebook asks, what were you like growing up? What sorts of dreams and hopes did you have then? So I was a completely different person when I was a kid. I was sort of right-wing fanatical growing up on a farm in Texas. I had a totally different life perspective than I do now. And at that time, even though I kind of already knew I was gay, I already had these feelings and stuff, I was really holding on to hope that somehow I would be able to banish these thoughts, I would be able to pray the gay away, and then I would have this normal life of finding a woman to fall in love with and raising a family and everything. And, that didn't happen. And I don't think it usually does. So my dreams and everything changed in a lot of ways. However, I always wanted to be a filmmaker since I was a young kid. And that dream has just gotten stronger and more defined as I've gotten older. So, I'm taking real steps towards actually making movies and telling stories, which hopefully you'll see more of here in the future. Well, thanks guys, I really appreciate you tuning in for this Ask Me Anything. If you have more questions for me, be sure to put them in the comments below. I will answer them to the best of my abilities. Be sure to like and share this video as well. Put it out there. I want to meet more angels. I love you guys. And until next time,